It's a basic question that a lot of people ask, and you might be wondering about it too. How many meals should you eat in a day? That's what we're going to talk about today. So I got this question in the comments of one of my other videos, and it was kind of sandwiched in with some really nice things, so thank you for that. But I thought this would be a good thing to talk about because not only is it being asked in the comments, but I know this is something that a lot of people wonder about, and quite honestly, it's the basis for a lot of diet plans and books and programs. And I think it's something people come back to again and again because it's really easy to just switch up the meal pattern and say that that's the right way to do things, but also it kind of has that sneaky element, right? It's something that's so common, but there's this little underlying feeling of maybe the way I've been doing this very simple thing all along is totally wrong. So with that in mind, let's break this thing down. And I do want to let you know before we get into it that if you were looking for like a magic number of meals you should eat that is going to solve all of your problems and be the secret to everything, that's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I'm here to give you. But I do want to walk you through what I do, what I think works well for most people, and the thought process behind it so you can understand it better and figure out what you think is going to work for you. So the meal pattern that I really like is 3 meals and 1 snack, with the snack usually going between lunch and dinner. And there are a couple different reasons why I really like eating this way. The first reason is satisfaction. With 3 meals and 1 snack, in a typical day, that's going to set you up to be eating probably around every 3 to 4 hours. And I really like that because it's enough of a gap where you can be hungry, feel true hunger, have a meal, eat enough that you really feel satisfied, and then go on and feel good for a few hours before you need to eat again. When you start to break things out into all of these mini meals throughout the day, like 6 meals or more, I feel like it sets you up to be in a situation where you never really get to feel true hunger, but you also never really get to feel full. So it's kind of this in-between area where you're never really satisfied and you're always kind of a little bit hungry. And if you go the other direction and start eating fewer meals, then I feel like it's hard to get the food you need without having to feed yourself past fullness and really stuff yourself all the time to get in the quantity of food that you would need to last you throughout the day. And with the whole satisfaction thing, some people will say that it's the carbs or the fat or the protein, you're having too much of one or not enough of the other, or the proportions aren't lined up the way they need to be. And while it is true that carbs, fat, and protein do matter in terms of your satisfaction, especially after a meal and how long it takes you to feel hungry, again, I do want to say that I think it's a little bit of a red flag if you have this predetermined eating style. I have to eat this number of meals throughout the day, and in order to accomplish that, you have to do these kinds of nutritional gymnastics where you're really shifting around the carbs, fat, and protein and like measuring stuff, or you're having to do weird food combinations or eat things in proportions that they don't kind of naturally show up on their own in real whole foods. Just something to think about. Another reason I like 3 meals and 1 snack is because it just kind of fits with the rhythm of life for me and a lot of other people. And this is especially true when you compare it to the mini meal way of eating, where you have all of those small meals spaced throughout the day. Because with that way of eating, to me, I feel like you never get a break from food, mentally or physically. It's something that's kind of always happening. It's always in the back of your mind. You know, you're always anticipating these small meals. Your body is always kind of just digesting a little food here and there. And you don't get that time where you can just say, okay, I'm done eating for now and I'm gonna go do this stuff and do all of the other things that are also a part of life. To me, with the mini meals, it feels like the food kind of takes over. But now that I've told you that I really like 3 meals and 1 snack, I also have to tell you that you don't have to eat 3 meals and 1 snack every day. I don't eat 3 meals and 1 snack every day. It all depends on the day, how I'm feeling, how hungry I am, what I have going on. So some days I might be hungry earlier and I feel like I need a mid-morning snack, or maybe I move my lunch up a little bit. Other days I might not be as hungry after breakfast and I have lunch a little bit later, and then I end up not having the snack and going straight to dinner. It really all depends on what's going on and how my body is feeling, and a lot of the time that ends up being 3 meals and 1 snack. And with this whole thing, you want to eat when you're hungry, but you also want to think about how food is fitting in with the rest of your life. So if you are someone who has a really flexible schedule, you can kind of eat whenever you want to, maybe you're just cooking for yourself, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to just eat when you're hungry because everything's wide open and you can just kind of do what you need to do. But if you have a really structured schedule for lunch because of school or work or something else, and you can only eat during a certain time period and you can't eat at the other times, then you have to take that into account too. You know, obviously I wouldn't want someone to come to lunchtime and, you know, this is your time to eat and you're like, well, I'm not really hungry right now and I know I'm not going to be able to eat for 6 more hours and I'm going to be starving by the time I get to that point, but I'm not hungry now, so that means I shouldn't have my lunch. That's not what I'm saying at all. You have to be practical about this stuff and consider the other factors too. And I'd love to hear in the comments what kind of meal pattern seems to really work well for you, or maybe something you have tried that really hasn't worked well for you. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here and you want more healthy eating tips and nutrition info and healthy recipes, then make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle doesn't have to be complicated, and I want to show you how to do it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.